All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Wait, let me get the volume down. Looks pretty high there. Oh no, there's no way to turn it down. I don't have the other microphone. Maybe I thought I brought it in here, but I found it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to make two. Maybe actually, I'll just let me see what happens if I go back to the other one. All right, let's check this volume out. Same thing. Maybe it is. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm not registering. They in the middle of everything. They super mad because they thought they were fooling us. Let me reload. See if I can get this to work. No, I mean they unrepentant. They all unrepentant. They need to go. Yep, there it is. All right, yeah, now it's kind of working better this way, I guess. Yeah, for all we know, and it's probably true, there's probably another anarcho out there that's going to take things over. It may not even be CGNG. It could be, CJNG, whatever it is. Could be any one of the cartels. Maybe cutting some of the middlemen out and things like that. More direct profits. Now they ain't got no interest in the wellness of their people, the wellness of our people. Take the money and run type of shit. Same thing got governments here. Got enough of our own shit. We ain't got to deal with theirs. And again, they're the ones that go, open the borders. And then they go, oh, they're bringing stuff across the borders. Cops are involved. There's Mexican law enforcement involved in the weapons smuggling. 100%. Military probably too. They go, it's you. Your people are using the drugs, and your people are giving us the guns. Well, we'll just remove the money that they buy the guns with. How about that? And the money they pay the cops, the dirty cops up here, and the dirty military and cops in your nation down there in Mexico, they're paying our military too. How many careers have they ruined by offering some money to some military slap? Some private or some E3 private or maybe even a specialist. That's infiltration of our military. That's espionage. Don't play their game. Oh, that's just law enforcement. That's just law enforcement. That's espionage. That's military attack on the United States. Don't play their game. Force them to play our game. They're like, yeah. I mean, I wonder how long they were planning to get rid of El Mencho, working that whole thing. Not finding El Mencho. What to do when they get rid of El Mencho, because they're going to get richer. They'll cut down El Mencho. And our CIA, yeah, it's good stuff, right? Because they don't give a shit, man. They just want to be the rich people. If they're being the rich people means you don't do your job, then they don't do their job. It's like when I told you when I took El Chapo out, big deal. Said El Sapo, El Tapo, El Mapo over here. And it's El Mencho. Right. Admit you were a sinner. Admit it! Believe Jesus is Lord. He's a Lord, but he's not God. That's for sure. Right. I'm a Lord. It don't really mean anything if you ask me, but That makes sense. I'm his brother, right? Spiritual brother. Oh, good. He's the Lord of Lords. I'm the Angel of Angels. Sounds great. Great family. Now, people in Mexico are starting to get smart. We just need a coup and get it over with. I mean, that's what have been done. I mean, they're that bad now. People probably celebrate if there was a real coup, like a real, a positive coup. Right? I mean, you lost 25 of your people because you ain't done the work. That's why you lost 25 National Guard in Puerto Vallarta, not because we went after Almencha. Put all your people in armored vehicles. Have counter. I've described these things for decades. I don't know if somebody blocked you from it or not. A decade and a half, I guess. You're just waiting for Trump to be out of here so it could be narco business as usual. So, again, there's going to be an economic downturn to a certain degree, but eventually everything's going to level off. Well, because you're slicing off the criminal economy, which is what happens when you allow crime to go the way it went. It destroys regular economy. And then the Fed doesn't know how to react to it. So Trump was right. The interest rates needed to be dropped. Because it was criminal economy. It wasn't real economy. They could afford the inflation. We can't. So what happened is all the narcos and fraudsters, and again, there are wealthy people in the United States, but they weren't spending their money because it meant a little bit more to them. It doesn't mean nothing to these people. It's all funny money. It's like monopoly money to them. The fraudsters, the narcos, the sex traffickers, money just, next thing you know, they're millionaires. Just got to pay a few cops and a few senators and congress people. Same way it is in Mexico. Now, the president's either an idiot. I'm thinking she's got people inside. That 80% figure is probably false. Somebody inside the government made it 80% because that's their argument. Oh, America's doing it to us. We're not doing it to America. Right. Or the United States, because they are born now. I think that 80% figure is bullshit. 80% of their weapons come from the United States. That's bullshit. Anyway, what's wrong with your borders? You want our border patrol to police your side? We'll move them forward a few miles. We'll show you how those guns don't get in. That's proof that the borders need to be increased. So what you need to do, I don't know how much I know you have probably scanners and you have some border patrol for people leaving the United States. Tighten it up. Right. You want to leave the United States, you go through the same scanning you go through when you leave, when you come in. That's all we need to do. Definitely find some more cash. Call me stupid all you like, all of you. From the afterlife, it'll be just as the way it was before we got here. You'll all be in hell and nobody's, and I'll be with God. They all know they're working for narcos, man. It's all scam. Narcos put them into the big system like 10 years ago, and then after a couple of years, money's untraceable, and then they start moving. Narcos have more legal representation in the United States than any citizen has ever had. Or ever will have, honestly. Legal representation and political representation. Even got CIA representation. Keep looking. Gotta wonder if that whistleblower is about to be fired. That ICE whistleblower. It's an illustrious 4-year career with ICE. The worst 4 years, well, actually, worst three years of his existence. So they're talking about abolishing ICE. Like, what do you do then? Like, you get across the border and you're home free, or does that include border patrol? Like, if you get past border patrol, that's it. You made it. All right. We got some ICE statues here. That's cool. Like, yeah, I mean, Fetterman told them not to go that way because that's what they're essentially saying. You make it past the border patrol, it's over. You made it. Right. That's what abolish ICE means. Now, the question is, do they mean abolish border patrol too, which means open borders? Which means more narcotics, more weapons going into Mexico, more weapons coming back. Or not weapons, but... Yeah, it's proven that banning weapons doesn't work. Right. Well, yeah, but you know where they're buying... You know, Democrats are going to complain about this. You know where they're buying the weapons, right? Democrat cities. Right. So again, you know, it's all this bullshit. That's why I'm not one side or the other. Just sit there with truth, and then you can fix it. Agreed, sir. Because every party's got somebody that's part of it. I mean, it's huge money. Oh, I just read at San Diego, they got some houses going on fraud. These people weren't even supposed to have these houses. That's how screwed up the country is. They stole our world. Yeah, probably narco money is how they were buying those houses. I mean, laundered money everywhere. So there are angel families down there in Mexico, and they're being Mexico. Just call it Mexico. Nah, they're not ready to change. Same shit that Pablo Escobar said in Colombia. They're saying in Mexico that it's the fault of our people. Right? How many years ago that was? So they have no moral compass. How are they going to do anything? You make you a zero state, then you can't do anything, and the stuff disappears. Now there'll be drugs, but not like now, like there was before, but it wasn't that much. Right? The nation of Mexico. Well, you better get with it, all of you. Stop blaming other countries. Obviously, without your country, none of this exists. And that's possible. So again, with Mrs. Guthrie, I kind of let it lie for a bit, but a lot of stuff's coming up. As far as revenge, I don't know what they're getting at, but could be, were they mad at Trump's policies? But again, without a threat, like without the other side of it saying, you made our people uncomfortable, now we make you uncomfortable. As far as him not being cartel based upon the way he's dressed, that's possible, but or not trained or whatever. If he comes up from Mexico and he needs to get equipment, beggars can't be choosy. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's all he could come by real quick. Maybe he's actually, SEER trained. Get whatever you can when you can. But again, he could just be a nut, Silence to the Lamb's nut. That's all. That part comes up too. I might be a little bit off my rocker every so often, but I'm not Silence to the Lambs by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm actually doing good considering what they did to me. Right? And what they do to me, quite honestly. I mean, if in my opinion, I might be wrong, but if based upon kidnappers that we've seen, he would have presented some photo or some video, I believe. I mean, why not? You want to get $6 million, or they, It could just mean she's dead. I mean, they could have blew it. Got somebody that was a little too sick to be kidnapped. Thingy there. Go straight. Okay, just let me go straight if I can. I'm going to turn signal. I don't want to be there. I wonder. Sometimes when they have people follow me, Hashem will have me do something. It wasn't like an intentional losing my tail, but that's what it does. Get this lady through. So again, there's always people in Mexico that should be here, and that's the issue. They're not here. The people that stole their place here are here. Yeah, because we would always had some sort of immigration. But again, Biden blew it, messed it all up. He over-immigrated. I told them, make sure everybody, they work or they go, and that's it. They either have a job and they're, 9 to 5, and they have 9 to 5. They have welfare. They have small business loans. They had mortgages, right? Laundering money through all that system. So the economy looked healthy because that was going on, but it wasn't healthy. Well, because it costs the government a lot more money when that's happening. Not only law enforcement, all that rehabilitation and Narcan and all that stuff. Detox, all the crimes that are being committed, all the murders, all the property theft. Boy, I can't believe it snowed so heavy out there on the East Coast. It's only, Pennsylvania's a long state, a wide state. All right, let me think where I gotta get to. You're gonna have to change things. So I'm just going to go back to my incense oil for fragrance, and just because I kept trying to buy candles of certain fragrances, and it's probably just a waste of money since I have incense oil. I bought a warmer, like an incense warmer. You just take a little bit of that oil and you put it in there, and it wafts up. It's easier. I was like looking at making candles myself, tea lights, and putting the fragrance oil in there. And I just thought, why don't I just light the tea lights like I used to do, unscented, and then put the incense burner. Most of the people back in the immigrant thing use drugs. Now, I didn't say everyone, but like the anti-ice thing. And then a certain number deal drugs. People like in the UPS stores, They're like beat up. They got so many returns and things. Got a vehicle here for you to look at. White Honda, I guess. Yeah, somebody may have given him the. This is what you got to do. You got to find out if somebody gave him the plate. It could be Happy Stance, but somebody could have gave him the plate too. It's Lima Whiskey, Kansas 5454. LWK. White Honda. One of the places that I frequent. All right, stay peaceful. Praise God and all that you do.